Right, welcome everybody. A little later, I'll introduce our speaker, Pravra Jika Gaya Tripana, who will speak on the relevance of the Bhagavad Gita in the 21st century. But to begin, I'd just like to welcome you and all our regulars and newcomers to, what number are we up to? 242 in our series of interfaith talks and presentations and discussions. Just a reminder that we're aiming to talk in a way which is unifying, and if you could be muted when you're not speaking, that would be great. And we're here to learn from each other. And so I'd like to hand over to Tracy. And then Tracy will acknowledge the Indigenous people. Then we'll have one piece of music, 7 readings, and another piece of music, and then the speaker. Thank you.
Colin, we lost your slides.
Oh, yes, I'll put it on again a bit later. Are you okay without the slides, Tracy?
Yep. Yes, no problem. Okay, thank you. So before we go any further, I'd just like to acknowledge that we are all meeting here in Australia on the traditional lands of the first people. I'm on the Worimi people's land, and I pay my respect to the elders and to the past and the current elders and all those for countless generations who took seriously the commission from the Creator to be good custodians to the land, to practice ceremony and love and singing to, and that is stored in the land that we live on, so that we are beneficiaries of that, and we are beneficiaries of a spiritual worldview that was not had many stories to manage greed and to foster cooperation and mutual respect. So we just want to acknowledge that foundation that we are on here in Australia. Thank you.
A small technical hitch.
Colin, we're not hearing.
Oh God, my God.
Okay, one second.
My beloved, my heart's desire.
Colin, we could hear it.
Oh, we could.
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry. I think there was a delay.
There was a delay, yeah.
Okay.
So Ahmed said it, but we could hear it after you.
All right, I'll try again.
Oh God, my beloved, my heart's desire. Oh God, my beloved, my heart's desire. Oh God, my God, my beloved, my heart's desire. Oh God, my God, my beloved, my heart's desire. Oh God, my God, my beloved, my heart's desire.
This wisdom derived from sacred wit and the wisdom of experience, I shall proclaim to thee, leaving nothing unsaid. Among thousands of men, but one maybe will strive for self-perfection. And even among these who have won perfection's crown, but one maybe will come to know me and I really am, as I really am. Hindu writings, Bhagavad Gita.
The teaching which recommends that the work performed with the view of performing one's duty honestly shall bring forth happiness. The teaching which leads mankind to real knowledge and wisdom and reaching thee, O Mazda, is its reward. Zoroastrian Writings, Gathas, Yasna 28, verse 13.
To drink Dharma is to be serene. Wisdom finds delight in the noble Dharma. Wind will not move rock, nor praise and blame a wise man. The words of the Dharma flow into him. He is clear and peaceful like a lake. Buddhist writings.
Pravrajika, that's yours.
Thou wilt guide me with thy counsel, and afterward receive me with glory. Whom have I in heaven but thee? And beside thee I desire none upon earth. My flesh and my heart faileth, but God is the rock of my heart and my portion forever. Jewish writings, Psalms 73, 24, 6.
It is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of God. Honor thy father and thy mother, and thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Even the net shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away. Christian writing, Matthew 4, verse 4.
If all the trees that are upon on the earth were to become plains, and if God should after swell the sea into 7 seas of ink, his works would not be exhausted, for God is mighty, wise. Islamic writings, Quran Surah 31, 30, 34.
and yet is not the object of every revelation. To effect a transformation in the whole character of mankind, a transformation that shall manifest itself both outwardly and inwardly, that shall affect both its inner life and external conditions. For if the character of mankind be not changed, the futility of God's universal manifestation would be apparent. Baha'i writings, Baha'u'llah, Kitab Ikan. Thank you.
Watching the world from our window of life, can we see all there is that is real, that is right? To the distance so far from our true understanding, making us want more, making us see less. The fire, making me clear, making me fly, spinning me round and round, spinning me round with the fire within your eyes. This mystic time I've known before, once before the flame within my heart. Agreements made are now realized like before. Speaking of worlds driven far, far apart, how the innocence crushes the nature of things to the point that we lose all we're trying to gain, making us want more, making us see less. The fire, making us clear, making us fly, spinning us round and round, spinning us round with the fire within your eyes. This mystic time I've known agreements of truth. Under the power of love, reveal agreements of love. Under the power of love, we see agreements of liberty. Under the power of love, we know agreements to set you free. Under the power of love, reveal agreements of trust. Under the power of love, we see agreements of faith. Under the power of love, we know agreements of truth.
Thank you, everyone, for the readings and the acknowledgement of country. And it's my very great pleasure now to introduce Pravrajika Gaya Tripana, who is a Hindu nun of the Ramakrishna Order of India, and she was sent to Australia in 1982. She conducts lectures and classes on Vedanta at their lecture hall in Croydon, New South Wales, and also at other places. She is a member of the Women's Interfaith Network and also Religions for Peace. And Pravrajika will be talking about the relevance of the Bhagavad Gita in the 21st century. Welcome. Very glad to have you here today.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be meeting all of you. Every faith has got some scriptural texts. We all follow a scripture, like Christians, if you ask Bible, Muslims, Quran, and in Hinduism, we have different texts, but most common one followed by most people is Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is often translated as Song Celestial. Yes, it's in Sanskrit. It is written maybe some 7,500 years ago. It's very old. And next to Bible, Bhagavad Gita is the most widely translated scriptural text. It has been translated into so many languages, both Indian languages and foreign languages. When I say Indian languages, in India we have about 22 languages are there. Not just one language, one country, but there are more than 20 languages are there. And many foreign languages also it has been translated. The first translation into English was by Sir Charles Wilkins, and it was published by the British East India Company in 1785. As I said earlier, it was in it is written in Sanskrit, and then it was first translated into Persian, and then from there into German and then English. So published by the British East India Company in 1785, and in the introduction, Lord Warren Hastings, the first British Governor General of India, remarked, I'm quoting him, works as the Gita would live long after the British dominion in India has ceased to exist. It's a very prophetic saying. In British dominion in India ceased in 1947. But Gita is becoming more and more popular. Almost a century later came another rendering in English by Sir Edwin Arnold called The Song Celestial. Then there are many translations in French, German, and other languages followed. So in 1982, I saw in one of the articles, in 1982, there were 1,891 translations of Bhagavad Gita in different languages. Every year, newer and newer versions are coming out. So we wonder, what is this, the secret of this continued appeal? After 7,000 years, why are people so interested? To understand it, we had to look at the background. What is the background of this Gita? This Bhagavad Gita forms a part of a epic called Mahabharata. Mahabharata is an epic describing the story of two clans or the same, or two sections of this family, one royal family, and they're fighting for their right to the throne. That's the main theme of the Mahabharata story. And the background for this Bhagavad Gita is the two sides have come ready for a battle because they tried all the different means to avoid battle and peacefully settle the problem of the throne, but it couldn't. One side was not ready to give at all, so there was no other way than fighting for their right. And two sides are ready to face each other, ready to fight. And one side, the main hero, the main warrior by name Arjuna, and he has got his charioteer Krishna, who is considered by the Hindus as an incarnation of God, God taken a human form. So Krishna is acting as the charioteer of Arjuna, and Arjuna wanted to see the both sides, the army. So he asked him to take my chariot to the front. I want to see who are all there to fight with me. And after seeing all of them, he suddenly says, I don't want to fight. It's not good to, the fighting means killing all these people. I don't want to do. Rather, I would go for, even if I had to take up a mendicant's life and live on alms, that may be better than killing all these people. Then Krishna gives the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita, encouraging him to do his duty. That is the background. Now, this was given more than 7,000 years ago. So what is the relevance now in the 21st century when in the nuclear age, we are all on the internet, modern era, and how is this the teaching given in 7,000 years ago to a person on the battlefield relevant to us in ordinary day-to-day life? Because it is relevant because Gita deals with practical problems of life faced by people all through the ages. See, his doubt was how Krishna is telling his Arjuna how to do his duty. His duty was there as a warrior, his duty was to fight. But we all have got a duty. Every single person has got a duty. Your duty may not be my duty. My duty is different from other person's duty. But everybody has got a duty to perform. So how to perform one's duty as a member of an imperfect social order? The society is never perfect. Society, always there will be imperfections. So how to perform your duty as a member of an imperfect social order, and how to control our mind, how to realize the highest goal of human life. And according to Vedanta, the highest goal of human life is to realize your true nature, your true divine nature. That's the highest goal of human life. How to realize that? All these things Bhagavad Gita is telling us. So we can say Gita is a handbook for leading a happy, meaningful life. So with that, we can see why it is relevant now, even after all these years, because in the present age, it's more relevant than maybe earlier times. This is the age of consumerism, age of exploitation of the environment, climate change, artificial intelligence, growing violence, challenges, uncertainties of strife and war and everything. So it's very important how to do our duty, how to lead our life. The great thinkers and leaders, scientists, ordinary people, all find inspiration from the Bhagavad Gita. You may have heard the name of Mahatma Gandhi. He's a great leader of the Indian independent movement. He says that whenever there is any problem, he'll turn to Gita. To quote his words, when disappointment stares me in the face and all alone, I see not one ray of light, I go back to Bhagavad Gita. I find a verse here, a verse there, and I immediately begin to smile in the midst of overwhelming tragedies. That you find solution to your problem in the book. And Aldous Huxley, the great British thinker, says, the Gita is one of the clearest and most comprehensive summaries of the perennial philosophy ever to have been done. Hence, its enduring value, not only for Indians, but for all mankind. Now, Gita is being used for building models of leadership and business practices, corporate social responsibility, and related areas. The psychotherapists, some of them look upon Sri Krishna as a very successful psychotherapist. According to those people, Krishna does not attempt to change the situation of the war, but he is trying to change the perception of Arjuna, the reasons for war. So they recognize this as a cognitive behavioral therapy. Instead of changing the situation, change your outlook. And also the psychologists point out that when you are in trouble, you need to seek support. That's what here the great hero Arjuna did. He recognized his difficulty and he said, I need help. Often what happens is when we seek guidance or help, we unconsciously expect that which is pleasant to us. We want to hear a pleasant answer, the answer which agrees with our ideas. We want a confirmation of our own way of thinking. We are asking somebody's guidance or help, but still unconsciously we are expecting them to say what you say it is correct or your way of thinking is correct, a confirmation. But Arjuna was earnest. He was shocked by his own behavior. So he wanted to know what is the best way. And the psychologists say that's how people who are in difficulties, first they should realize that they need help. First, they must accept the idea that I need help. Only then somebody can help you. Often there is, in the mental health field, it's a stigma that people don't want to confess that they are in trouble, they need help. But here, Arjuna is a great hero. And if such a great hero like Arjuna can be in trouble and he is seeking help, then there's no harm in myself saying, oh, I'm in trouble, I need help. So it will be helpful. That's how some of the psychologists say. Sri Krishna diagnoses Arjuna's problem at the very outset. Arjuna, there are 18 chapters in the Gita. In the first chapter, Arjuna describes, so I don't want to fight because the war is total destruction, the family values are destroyed, there'll be intermingling of races, the whole structure of society will be destroyed. And the guide, philosopher, friend Krishna keeps quiet. Let him say, have his say. After that, he starts then saying, the first thing he says is, this behavior does not befit you. He does not find fault with him, but just say, you are a great hero. You are a great warrior. This behavior does not befit you. That is a very good way to deal with children. When we deal with children, often parents and teachers, they may say, correcting or guiding children, they say, what you did, you are a fool, you are good for nothing. Now, the best way, the proper way is, this particular behavior does not befit you. That means you have got infinite potential. You have got potential for to excel in that in any field. Bring it out. This particular behavior does not befit you. The greater things can be done by you in a better way. That boosts the self-confidence of the child. If you tell the child, you are good for nothing, or you are stupid, you are foolish, the self-confidence goes down. But the same thing, for the same mistake, you can say that particular act or the particular behavior is not the right one. I expected better from you. That's what Krishna tells Arjuna. This does not befit you. In the beginning, he says, you are a great hero. This behavior does not befit you. So we are showing respect to the person, at the same time calling out the infinite potential within. Bring it out, manifest it. And right in the beginning, Arjuna's difficulty with fighting was, he said he will be killing all these people. And Sri Krishna diagnoses Arjuna's problem as the ignorance of the real nature of human being. What's our real nature? Our real nature is divine. That's what the Vedanta says. We think that we are this psychophysical system. No. We are not just the body, the mind, the intellect. No. We are, by nature, our real nature is divine. Swami Vivekananda, one of the great leaders of Hinduism, who started our monastic order, he says, each soul is potentially divine. Each soul is potentially divine. There is no sinner. We are all divinities. But it is just that the divinity is not manifested properly. We have to manifest the divinity. The goal is to manifest the divinity, he continues. Each soul is potentially divine. The goal is to manifest that divinity. That's the aim of our life. Manifest the divinity. Realize that your true nature is divine. Then when you realize that your true nature is divine, everybody is divine, immortal. You cannot call divinity. Divinity is immortal. So you are immortal. So what is death? Death is only for the body, for the psychophysical system. That the immortal self, the soul, can never die. You cannot kill the immortal soul. It is not killed. So that's the first teaching that Sri Krishna gave, the highest one. Your idea is wrong because you think that you are going to kill these people. No, you cannot kill them because they are immortal. Everybody is immortal. But the death is only for the body. And that is just another change. Look at the newborn baby. And look at the same baby after, say, after 10 years, look at one. It's a grown-up child. And after 20 years, and almost an adult. Does it look same? Completely different in appearance, behavior, everything has changed. So childhood, youth, adulthood, old age, the difference is changes. And death is just another change. Death is not the end, because death is only for the body. The soul continues. And another one great idea Krishna says is, there are two things certain in this world. If you are born, you will die. Whether you like it or not, death is certain. And another idea according to Vedanta is, if you are dead, you will be born again, because we believe in reincarnation. The soul comes again, take another body, take another, and continues. When we know the true nature of what we really are, then we won't have this misery regarding death. Now, at present, the greatest fear we have is the fear of death. Nobody wants to face death. Even talking about death, who don't talk to like all these things, as though if you don't talk, you can avoid death. Death is unavoidable. Not that you have to go on brooding over death. No. Accept it's a fact of life. Just like you cannot remain a baby all the time. You cannot remain a child all year after year. You grow up. Just like that. Death is just another change. Accept that. Then, of course, somebody dies, we feel the sorrow, but we will be able to regain our balance. Not that we won't feel any sorrow. Then you are no better than a piece of stone or a block of wood. No, you feel it because you have got emotions. We feel it, but we will be able to regain our equilibrium and balance and go forward. Then, if you are immortal, that's fine. How are we to fight? How are we to do our duty? Then Sri Krishna goes on to telling how to perform your duty. You know, if you do bad things, you have to suffer the results. That is one idea that Hinduism speaks of, the law of karma. Karma means action. Well, the physical law is there. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Law of action, the physics. Every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. It applies to our human beings also, not just for the physical entities. whatever we do, we have to reap the result. We say, as you sow, so you reap. If you do good deeds, you reap good results. You do evil deeds, you have to reap the bad results. Nobody can do. Nobody else can do. You cannot transfer the results to another person. There is no proxy. You have to reap the result. And every little bit, you have to reap, good or bad. Now, in that case, fighting a battle, killing thousands and thousands of people, you're going to reap a lot of bad results. Krishna says, no, there is a way not to have the results. He is explaining how to perform the action so that you don't have to reap results. Do it without any attachment. We all have to do our duty, but do the duty without attachment to the results. If we have any attachment, then there's always problem will be there, because we get upset if the results are not happening, and we worry about the results. And when we are worrying about the results, you won't be able to pay proper attention to the action on hand. Any say a sports person, somebody who is going to compete in the Olympics, all the time worrying about, am I going to coming as the best first? Am I going to get gold medal? And say running, race, or swimming, looking back at the who is coming next to me, you won't be concentrating on your performance. Concentrate on your performance, on the action. Don't worry about the results. The results will come. Results are bound to come. So all you have to do is do your duty in the best way possible, without any attachment to the results. Everybody has got to perform action. Nobody can avoid action, avoid work. Even we are always doing work. Even when we are sitting quietly, we are doing work. We are performing action. Now you may, for example, you are all now looking at the screen, listening to me. You think that you are sitting quietly? You are performing action. You are listening. Your mind is thinking. All the internal organs in the body is working. So we are constantly, continuously performing action. Nobody can stop performing action. That happens only when the person is dead. As long as we are alive, we have to perform action. Now, how to perform action? We want, in the field of work, we need hard work, efficient work, cooperative work. And we can achieve great things only when we work in a calm, steady way. That's a challenge that many people face. How to work maintaining equanimity of the mind. The work situation, you ask any person, full of stress and strain, full of stress. The work challenging, cutthroat competition, so difficult. We may plan that, I'll remain calm, whatever happens, whatever my co-workers say or the managers say, I'll remain calm. But when it actually go to the place of action, and one word, you get upset. You get upset, and once you get upset, our work won't come properly. We get overwhelmed, because that present situation becomes the real thing for us. We forget the resolve, the situation becomes a reality. We forget that it's just a passing phase of affairs. it won't last forever. No, we forget that. That becomes the most important reality for us at the time, and we forget. And also when we work desiring particular results. Now, modern time, we always look for the result more than what to say, especially with the competition in the corporate world, always looking for the highest result, best result. And this, when the results not come, first we worry about the results while we are performing, and when the results come, if we are successful, we become highly elated, and that will cause jealousy for those who didn't come up with that. Or if you had failure, you become so downhearted, depressed, and then we try to perform in a better way. Often we are not able to do that because we are not able to concentrate. The mind is so disturbed. But if we are working without attachment, I have done my best. All I have to do is put in my best effort. That's all. Then whatever the results come, I don't mind. I'll accept it as my due because I have put in my effort. If that attitude we can have, then we may be able to face a situation in a better way, in a calmer way. With this choice is ours, which way we want to go. Whether get attached to the results and get upset with the mind swinging from great elation to depression, or without an attachment, put in your best effort, and whatever happens, accept it. What the Christians call holy indifference. And then have the mind calm and peaceful. The choice is ours. Krishna asks us to perform actions from the yoga level of consciousness. What is meant by yoga level of consciousness? This yoga level of consciousness is the level of consciousness from where positive actions come. Actions which are beneficial to the society. We perform actions from various levels of consciousness. Most people are performing action with only selfish interest. They don't care for the rest of the world. Their idea is, I want to enjoy. Well, you have what I have done. I have worked hard, so the result is mine. I will enjoy. Wait a minute. Did you do everything to perform that particular task that you are doing? You are doing something online. You are using the facility. The computer was invented by somebody, produced by somebody else. Electricity is produced from somewhere else. All these things, you are making use of other people's effort. You are in heaven, then how can you say that the result, you put in effort, so the results belong to you alone? We have to be working corporately because we are making use of other people's effort. So we must be ready to share the results with others. A bit of unselfishness. When instead of saying that the results belong to me, when we can say the result belong to us. It's a big difference. I am ready to share the benefit of what I have done with all of you. It expands our heart. And that is what Krishna's saying is the yoga level of consciousness, because you are unselfish. You are unselfish. You are ready to share your benefit, your success with others. When we are unselfish, we are putting our selfish ego to the back seat and putting others to the front. And that is what we call spirituality. Spirituality does not mean just saying some prayer. You call on the name of God, say your prayers, that's fine. But there's more. That love of God should have the practical aspect in service. Service to humanity. Serve human beings because they are all children of God. We all say that God is a father and mother. God is a creator. If God has created us, we are all brothers and sisters. So we are all children of God. We should be ready to share our blessings with the rest of the humanity. And it is not the type of action that makes a difference, but the attitude of the mind. As I said earlier, we all have to do work. But it is not the type of work that creating the trouble, the difficulties, the stress, but our mental attitude. You may be, suppose the mother is looking after a sick child. The whole night she keeps awake because the child is very sick and looks after it, cares for it. And the next morning she has to go to work. She does. She doesn't complain that the night she could not sleep, because she is caring for her child whom she loves. But if she had to do the same thing for some other reason, then she would have complained. When there is love, the work is not a chore. Love is the grease which runs the tire for smooth running. It is the attitude. If it's our mental attitude that decides the work, whether it is a chore or a drudgery or a pleasure or a privilege. If we can consider the work as a privilege, this particular work has been given to me. I am doing God's work. If we believe we are all God's children, then everything that we do for us and others are God's work. You are serving God's children. And it's a privilege to do work for God. Or if you're thinking of selfishness, then it's become a chore. Then you will be complaining. But when you think that you are doing God's work, then it's a blessing, it's a pleasure, it's a privilege, not causing stress or strain. So Krishna says that's some of the teaching that he gives. So work, do your duty. In the Gita, you may find Krishna asking Arjuna to fight, because that was his duty. As a warrior, his duty was to fight. And in the world, we all have to do our duty, and many times we have to protest, stand up for the right thing against injustice. If we see an injustice, you cannot say, "Oh, I'm a religious person. I don't want to protest against injustice." No, you have to protest against injustice, because as a human being, that you cannot allow injustice to happen in front of you. If it's happening in front of you, you have to protest. And we all have got our duty to the whole world. There is duty for ourselves, to oneself. What is the duty to oneself? Keep our body healthy, fit, so that you can think about higher things, about God, and also serve his children. For that, you have to keep our body fit. You don't become a burden on others. Then we have got duty, responsibility to our family. But remember, God has given you this family. You are custodians. You don't own them. It was not there with you when you came to this world. They came to you at one stage. So you are custodian. You look after them in the best way possible. That's all. Without attachment. Then we have got duty to our society, to the nation, to the whole world. How can we perform duty to the whole world? The best way, pray for the welfare of the whole world. When there is a Sanskrit prayer, which we, in our Friday discussions, we always end with that prayer. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May the whole world be happy and prosperous. May the whole world be happy and prosperous, including everybody. Nobody is left out. That way, we pray for peace and happiness for the whole world. Because there is no selfish happiness. You cannot be happy just by yourself. You cannot, nobody can imagine that I'll be happy and let others suffer. No. If anybody is suffering, we also will have to go through that. So the best way for us to be happy is let all others be happy. All these ideas we get in the Bhagavad Gita. That is why Gita is considered as one of the most popular, relevant religious texts. I think that's enough. Masanta?
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you. I think now Colin will speak.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Pravrajika. That was excellent. And the sign of a good interfaith talk is when I want to become a Hindu and to read the Gita. So I certainly enjoyed that. So everyone is welcome now to use the reaction button to raise your hand if you'd like to make a comment or ask a question. Perhaps I can ask a question. In the Bhagavad Gita, is there, does it help people to, well, it seems to help people to know God. Would you say that it can also help people to love God?
Yes. Yes. Vedanta in general is main idea is we don't speak about God fearing, we speak about God loving. When there is fear, it's a distance. God is, but when there is love, you become close to God. And in the Bhagavad Gita, there are 4 paths are given. But to say that humanity, according to Vedanta, we have categorized the whole human race into 4 types of people, depending upon the prominent or predominating quality. Some people are by nature intellectual. They want to reason out. So there is the path of knowledge to realize the there we don't say God, we realize your real divine nature. Then there are some people who are active by nature. So for them, there's a path of action. What I was talking about, how to perform action without attachment. Then there is a path of devotion, love of God. And there's a path of contemplation, meditation. All these 4 paths are discussed, explained in the Gita. So whichever be your temperament, you can realize the Supreme through the teachings of the Gita. It caters for all the needs of different people.
Good, thank you very much. Jung, do you have a question? But you're muted.
Thank you. When we heard so many times that all people are good, all people are angels, all the children are angels, but if you have ever was a teacher, you were ever done a teaching job, you will see some children, they didn't even turn up to the classroom. It means that they prefer to go for a movie, to go here and there, and they did not want to study. So if you say all children are angels and people were born equally good, that's what the Bible also said. So what I'm saying is, if we establish all the jails, like Long Bay jails, and some people can be kept in there for 30 years, 40 years, and you think that, is that a system that God created? Or people themselves, they created themselves? Or how are they going to be equally good? I mean, not going to be negative here, but in real life, there was dark forces. That's why we in the Catholic Church, we have exorcism, whether that people were affected by the voice in their head, or they're mentally ill, or they really were born in the darkness. I mean, in the dark forces. That's why when we say all people were born equally good, so we have fallen angels. That's another statement that the Bible uses. So why angels are falling? So I mean, all that scenario just only examples for what we say in that people are really not born equally, and we try to improve the system to make people equal in front of the law, but in real life, there's some places where people didn't have food to eat, fresh veggie to go for, and some people can afford organic food, and organic food are very expensive. So I'm talking now, this is a very complicated subject matter for us to think about.
We don't say all are born equal. All what I said was our real nature is divine. But when we say, you said about children, their psychophysical system, body, mind, are completely different from each other. But the deep down, what we call the soul, or capital S, self, in Hinduism we say self, that is divine. But there is always ignorance is there. And we don't say sin, but we say ignorance. Ignorance of your real nature. We have forgotten our real nature, so we make all these mistakes. There is the divinity, presence of God is in all, but because of the ignorance, it's like dirt. See, suppose the glass of the window is kept dirty, haven't cleaned for years together, dirt accumulates. And if the light is turned on inside, no light goes out because the dark glass is so dirty. You clean the glass, the light comes out. Our mind is at present covered with dirt, ignorance. So the light of the divine within is not manifested. So we behave in different way. Some people, as much light comes out, that much good behavior will be there. Some people who cannot bring out any light because of so much of ignorance is there, impurity is there, or the mind. So they behave in a very bad way. I don't know about, I don't say much about the idea of fallen angels, so I cannot say anything. But this is our Hindu idea is divinity is there all, but it is not equally manifested. That's the difference. Manifestation comes when the mind becomes purer and purer, and when the impurities are removed, ignorance is removed.
So what I use the word equally is just like a what you call, we can say it's like a metaphor, or we can say this, like you just say equally because you don't want any superior nature or any inferior nature. In a diplomatic way, we say, okay, all people were born equally, so make everybody happy. We don't want to go against diplomacy. If we are working for foreign affairs, that's the word that we say, okay, we are equally good. Or we cannot say, oh, we are equally bad. It's not like that.
You're muted, Colin.
All right. Yeah. Thank you for that answer. We were all born divine, but we reflect it differently. And thank you, Jung, for the question. Olga from Russia, welcome.
Good evening. I'd like to have a deeper understanding of the few things from this talk, but since we've been speaking about the divinity of human nature, I'd like to have a deeper understanding of this divinity. So, because it's a bit vague, we are born divine. So, if a soul truly lives this divine potential, how would it manifest itself in the world, this divine nature of human soul?
We can see some people are by nature more caring for others, unselfish, loving, sympathetic, forgiving. We can be sure they are manifesting their divine nature more, because these are attributes that we give to God. When we all manifest the love part, but our love is confined mainly to our close family, close friends, to our society, all connected with me. When that me is removed and we are able to include the larger society into that, then we can say that person is manifesting more of the divinity.
So it means we consider other people and we aren't just focused on ourselves, and we are more divine.
It's one of the signs. But just that alone may not make you manifesting divine, but that is one of the signs of your manifesting your divinity more.
When you're more loving.
More loving, more unselfish, caring for others. because these are the qualities we think about when we think about God. These are some of God is loving, God is sympathetic towards us, He is forgiving, he or she. So these are the ideas that we have about God. And then when we manifest these qualities, then we can easily say, oh, that person is manifesting his or her divinity more. Not that completely we become divine. No, we are manifesting that divinity more. That's all.
So being godlike in the world.
Pardon me?
To be
To
God.
be like God in the world.
Yes. We are getting closer to God.
Thank you, Olga. Okay, we have 5 minutes and 3 questions. Amen.
Sorry. I just want to comment first on Olga's question. I think Abdul Baha describes a metaphor which matches with our speakers today. And Abdul Baha says that man is like a mirror, and the shinier, the polished the mirror is, the more capacity to reflect light. So when we polish our soul or polish our spiritual qualities, then we reflect that divinity much better in the world. So I think that is what also our speaker says.
Yes.
Now I'd like to comment on the messages that were given in this speech tonight. When one delves into writings of all these different religions, you realize that Bhagavad Gita was, as you said, 7,500 years old, and then we have Bible, Quran and Baha'i writings, which are Baha'i writings that are already 180 years old. And when you look at the spiritual qualities that these writings describe, are exactly the same, identical. Spiritual qualities of God, or spiritual qualities that are attributes that are given to us, do not change with time. They're exactly the same. When we read all these readings at the beginning of our meeting, you see that the words are exactly the same in different religions. Bible says the same, Bhagavad Gita says the same, Quran says the same. So these qualities that bring up the character of a beautiful human being is always the same from God. It just comes in a different wording. And I'm amazed that these qualities do not change, and only the physical laws of different religions are different.
Yes, these qualities are eternal. The truths are eternal truths that they cannot change.
Exactly.
And the different religion catering for different people at different times, they expressed in different ways. That's all. The expression, the words change. That's all. Otherwise, the truth cannot change. Truth is the same.
Yeah.
If it changes, it won't be truth.
And that's the part of unity between all the faiths, and that's the point of the common point in interfaith.
Yes.
Thank you, Ahmed, for making that point. Tesfai.
Okay, my first question is to the speaker is to elaborate a little bit of this 4 type of humanity, 4 type of persons. Is that clear?
No, sorry, I didn't understand.
You said that we have 4 types of human beings.
4 types of human beings. The first one is, say, the one who is more intellectual. Not that, see, when I say 4 types, they are not watertight compartments. It's a a predominant qualification or predominant nature. One is more intellectual. Second one is more active by nature. Third one is more emotional, so devotional type. And fourth is more contemplative, meditation in that type of person. But everybody has got all these qualities. Just that one is more predominant, that's all. So it's a general division, and through any of these paths, following any of the path, you can realize your divine nature.
Okay. My my second question is the difference between love of God and fear of God. Can you explain
Love and
something
Fear of God.
between love of God and fear of God? What are their unity
fear
and
of God.
differences?
Fear of God means God is far away, and you fear that God will punish you when you do something wrong, and will reward you when you do good things. Like a judge sitting there to judge you. You can never you cannot now love the judge, because you know that God judge is going to judge you whether where you're a criminal or you are free. You are always whereas love of God means God is your own, your father. In Hinduism, we say you can put all the human emotions to God. You can love God as your father, as your mother, as your friend, your child, your master, your consort, your partner, your sweetheart. You can have all this human relation towards God. And Krishna says in the Gita, as people approach me, I respond them in the same way. If you look upon God as your master, God will be your master. If you look upon God as your friend, He'll be your friend. So you can have any of the human relation with God. That is love of God. In this human relation, there is love. Whereas fear of God, God is far away, God is distant. You are in awe of God, God may punish me. But here, when God is near, you don't have fear. You don't fear your father or mother. You don't fear your child. You love them. God becomes very close to you.
Thank you. Vasanta, was your hand up?
Yeah. Just a quick question, Mataji. Is there anything in the Bhagavad Gita that tells about the suffering, but the suffering in the world?
Suffering, Krishna says, of course, suffering comes from the conduct of the senses with the sense objects. When our five senses, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and skin, comes into contact with the sense objects, we get the suffering. Suffering is either pleasure or pain. But one thing you can remember, these are temporary, they won't last forever. They come and go. So if you can change them, address it, fix it. If you can't, just go through it, put up with it, forbear it, because it's not going to last forever.
Thank you.
Young, is your question very quick?
It's very fast. I mean, you talk about suffering, it is really spot on. We just think about a small plant. If it gets thrown into the wetland, it can grow very fast and good and bloom flowers. But if you throw that little plant into the rocks area, obviously that little plant will be suffering because there's no water, no good weather, and that little plant will not do any flower, and that little plant will be suffering. It just happening the same thing as children. If they don't get into the right even if they have a divine nature or divine soul. But if that divine soul hasn't been nourished or guided and get lost in the forest or in a dry rock, I don't know how much that divine can perform anything. And then if that little one committed some serious crime and get punishment by God or by human being, is that going to be fair?
There are so many factors. See, what we say, we are born in a particular situation. You say the plant in the rocky area, just like the child in a bad situation in a family, broken family. We, according to Hinduism, we have got this, I said earlier, the law of karma, the results of your past actions. Your results of the past actions have brought you in that particular situation where you have to go through suffering, because you're reaping the results of your past actions. But at the same time, if you can put in your use your willpower and get out of it, you can get out of it. You can change, because we have got this particular, I'm talking about the Vedantic viewpoint. We have got this particular body, this particular life, because of our past actions. Past actions decided that I'll be born in this body, in this family, in these surroundings. I should be living here. It is my past actions that decided that I come to Australia from India. It's all a result of my past action. Now, my present action, if I am the result of my past action, then I have got all full ability to control my present action to decide my future. So I can decide how my future life will be by deciding how I behave or how I live my life in this in present life. So those children who are born, or you are growing up in a really difficult situation, family, through some good help or some strong willpower, they can get out of it. But there are only far and few between that comes, because it's really hard.
So what you saying, that they will need miracle?
We can call it miracle, but you can use you can even use the willpower, strong willpower, and God's grace. I won't say miracle, because we don't. I don't really believe in miracles, but I would say God's grace.
All right, thank you for that. Has anybody who hasn't asked a question, you have a minute to put your hand up if you want to. Tesfai just asked me a supplementary question. If you could just say a word or two about fear of God. Was that the question? I think that was the last question. But
thank you. Thank you, Colin. Exactly.
Was that the question? Just
yes.
More about the fear of God.
Yes, Colin. Yes, yes. She explained some love of God, and I would like to hear some about the fear of God.
Fear of God, because we don't have that idea of fear of God. How can you explain more? Because all we know, what to say, we have selfish ideas. We want one selfish desire. I want to fulfill, get some desire, and then
yes,
we actually, what happens is we put on God our mental attitude. If I have fear within me, I put that on God. If I am, say, by nature, I want to take revenge on somebody who has done bad, evil to me or harm to me, I want to harm that person, then I think my God is like that. If my heart is full of love, I'll be putting, my God will be full of love. If my heart is full of hatred, then my idea of God is also like that only. My God will punish others who did harm to me. That will be my idea. See, in the Bible, they say that God created man in his image. Man is created in God's image. We can say we create God in our image, because we actually don't know how God looks like, what God's nature is. This is all our idea. So we create God in our image. In Hinduism, we have got so many forms of God. They all look beautiful because we love beauty. We love beauty. We love compassion, sympathy. So we put all these qualities on God. God as it is, we say as it is, because God is neither male or female. That's only for the human body. It's a body which is male or female, not just human body, animal body also. It's only the body which is male or female. The soul is not, there is no gender for that. So how can you say God is he or she? But then we had to use some language. So we use, in Hinduism, we have one idea of that reality. We don't say God. It is nameless, formless, attributeless, impersonal aspect. It's not personal aspect. And for that, we say it. It's impersonal. But when we talk about personal God, we say either he or she, and then we put in all these qualities. What is within us. So that's all I can say about fear of God.
I think that was lovely note to conclude on. And I want to thank Prabhu Jika for the talk and for giving us a little extra time. And quite a few years ago, I actually bought the Bhagavad Gita, and I was surprised it's only 18 sections. Each section's only about 3 pages, and it does tell a story. And as you said, it's very relevant. Chapter 9, I thought was particularly powerful. In how God revealed himself in Krishna, and how Krishna, the qualities of a seeker, of being able to see God in Krishna, and also how we relate to other people. And I found a verse about interfaith dialogue, so it's definitely relevant. Can I just read it?
Yes.
It says,
Yes,
even those who are devotees of other gods and sacrifice to them, full of faith, really sacrifice to me.
Yes.
And then the next bit, a bit further down, I accept a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or water from the disciplined person who, with devotion, offers me that loving offering.
Yes. So see, the idea is, if you've got love of God, you don't have any. Love is the most important thing. What you give God is not that important. You give with love. So that's why he's saying, even if you give a leaf or just water, you don't have to have much elaborate rituals, offerings. No. Whatever you give with love, I accept. And then he says, whatever you do, whatever you give in charity, whatever austerities you perform, offer everything to me. When he said to me, does not mean just Krishna, offer to God. When in the Bhagavad Gita, wherever Krishna uses me, he, as I said earlier, he is speaking from a yoga state of consciousness. So he is identifying himself with God and speaking. So whenever he say offer to me, I accept. God, offer to God, God accepts. With that offer with devotion, that's the most important thing, devotion. when you offer anything to God.
And music. I like Krishna music.
Yes.
All right. Well, I want to thank all the participants, but especially to Reverend Jika. That was an excellent introduction to the Bhagavad Gita. Very relevant book.
Thank you for the time.
Okay, thank you,
Thank
guys.
you, Ave Maria.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
night.
you. Thank
you.
you. Thank you, sincerely. Thank you. It was good. Very inspiring. Thank you.